Welcome to the material world. Okay, Gurudas, how are you?
Hare
Manasi
Krishna,
Ganga.
Jai Maharaj, how are you?
Good. And Shakti, thanks again for going to see Michael, who's a trans country walker. And thanks.
He's a beautiful gentleman. He sent me the video.
Oh, yeah. Good.
It was
Yeah.
really amazing.
Yeah, he did a good film for anybody else who's interested.
Yeah.
It's called Walking the Lessons of the Road. It's about 80 minutes long, like a documentary. It's very spiritual.
There's one, he sent me one that's just the one just about you. Is it
Oh,
okay?
yeah. People
Okay.
can look at that as well. Yeah. You can send it to the group, work it out with Vaishnavi. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a small documentary, but the longer version is about other people who walked across, and it's their inner monologue, what they're thinking when they're walking.
Yeah,
It's nicely done.
he's going to send me that one as well. So I
Okay.
send that one as well.
Yeah, it's good. So
Yeah.
welcome, Vaishnavi. Get better with your cold. Okay. And we got Vishanta. But you tell everybody the good news, Vaishnavi? You told
Yes,
everybody.
yes, Maharaj.
Yeah.
I said
Okay,
that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nitai Priya, thank you for being on board with us. Vishanta. And who else am I missing here? Sure, there's more people. Give me 1 second. He said he was going to start at 4 o'clock. Is Yvonne still here? The door is open. I'm hoping you can get it done. You know, can you try to sort him out? Ask him if he's still going to do the job. Otherwise, it gets delayed one day, and I'd like to see what it does to me. Okay, great, Prabhu's. Let us then get started, okay? Thank you. Hope everyone's enjoying the fall weather. Okay, let's start with the pranam mantras to Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Vishnaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tanamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Paricharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Thank you, Bruce. All right, let's go to page 1 of our introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya
Ranjana Shalakaya,
Chakshuranmilitam Yena
Chakshuram Militam Yena,
Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
I was born in the darkest ignorance,
I was born in
Was
the
born in the darkest ignorance,
and my spiritual master opened my eyes
and my spiritual master opened my eyes
with the torch of knowledge.
the torch of knowledge.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
I offer my
I
respectful
also
obeisances unto him.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai. Okay, our host will tell us where we are at. Vaishnavi.
Starting with chapter 2.
Chapter 2, what verse do we have there? I heard 2, what else?
But
Text
we are
1.
starting 2.1.
Okay, great. Okay, contents of the Gita summarized. Sanjaya Vacha, Tantata Kripayavishtam, Ashru Purna Kulekshanam, Vishirantam Idang Bhakyam, Uvacha Madhusudanaha. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudan, Krishna, spoke the following words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think we can do 2 sentences each, nice and slow and clear. If anyone speeds, we're going to give out summons tickets. Okay.
All right.
Bad karma.
Manipal, you want to start? Your mic is open.
Sure.
And Manasi Ganga, Vasanta, and Gurudas, Shakti Devi, Arjun Saka. If needed, I will do.
Okay. So material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is
That's 2 words.
significant.
That's 2 sentences there, Prabhu. And
Okay.
it was good. They were very profound. Okay, good. Next person.
The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna's in there.
No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of...
Just
Can
stick
you
with
move
2
it?
sentences, okay? Because they're very
Ocean of...
strong sentences. Just stick with 2. Okay, next person
Hare Krishna.
similarly.
A man fallen in the ocean of nations cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra, or one who laments unnecessarily.
Okay.
Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him.
Good.
Is this me? Okay. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Sri Krishna. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in the fixed conception of the real self.
Okay. Jai. Thank you so much, Jai. Okay, we'll just go over, some of the points that are expressed here. Sanjay is speaking again, and he's making the observations. He's got this TV set built in. It was innate, and he got blessed by Vyasadeva, his guru, to be able to see, to have a mystic vision. So Arjuna, he's showing compassion, soft-heartedness. It's a good thing to have. The Grinch who tried to steal Christmas, he came out to be a better man. Maybe not transcendental, but his heart grew big. And more symptoms are being demonstrated by Arjuna, as his eyes are full of tears. And Madhusudan, take note, a name of Krishna means the slayer of Madhu, who was one of those many asuras, or many of the many demons that Krishna had slain. So those are some important points. There was a Bhaktimarga magazine article that came out years and years ago. And the article was about devotees who were in New York City. And we had a very active drama troupe there called the Vaikuntha Players. And to get the attention of the New Yorkers, who are very much in the mode of passion, of course, devotees on the street would do some drama. And somebody would go, "Help, help, I'm drowning, like in the crowd. And that would get people to stop, like somebody needs help and then drowning, on Fifth Avenue or wherever it was. And so people said, this is kind of ridiculous, but what's going on here? And then one other devotee who plays the role of the rescuer says, I can help you. I've been trained in this and that, and I'm going to be your savior. So he's kind of makes like he's diving into the water, and he gets a hold of the Prabhu, and who's drowning, and then he knocks him out, unconscious. And then he takes his coat with him, not the person, but the coat. And so the devotee then who's got the coat, the person who rescues, he does a little spiel, and he talks about, what is the purpose of saving the outer dress, which is referred to the body. The coat is an outer dress to the body. The body is an outer dress to the soul. So he's just making the point, you can be a philanthropist, you can be somebody who works with paramedics and try to save someone's life, but you might save their body, the exteriors, but you won't save the soul. And so philosophically, that's what the New Yorkers were hearing and seeing, and getting the important point. In New York, there's a lot of bright people, very educated folks, and so those who are a little bit bright will be able to understand the conclusion of what was being said. So anyways, it just reminds me this when Prabhupada speaks about this in the purport, saving the drowning dress of a man, his external self is not it's not brilliant. It's in fact, there's ignorance there, and this is what we should be able to gain in our understanding. And that's why Prabhupada says, yes, Arjun, as was soft-hearted, he was compassionate, but this is also a false sense. One should not lament for the life, neither for the living nor the dead. The Lord says in chapter 2, because you just weeping over a body which is not eternal and which is just the outer dress. It's the inside that counts, right? Okay, so anybody else have any other items they'd like to bring up in terms of our first verse from chapter 2? Okay, I'm just going to look at all of you and stare
Maharaj,
you
I have
up
a
and
question.
down. Yeah, go ahead.
I know philosophically it is not appropriate to lament for the body, but in the material world, isn't it okay to grieve for the loss of somebody, even though we are looking at them as a body?
Yes, that's true. Vaishnavas are compassionate, but in this circumstance, we're talking about the transcendence, level of transcendence. We're talking about the Lord speaking to a kshatriya, who can't be so squeamish, but rather should be ready to do what he normally has done out of a sense of duty. Go when needs to be done. And if there is to be any slaying, there should be a slaying of ignorance, of what is adharmic. So Krishna, he's going to make it very clear to Arjuna that he didn't approve of Arjuna's sentimentality in this case. It's just not the time to cry. No use crying over spilt milk, as the saying goes. What do you think, Anantajesh?
Follow up on that is when we go visit somebody who's bereaved of a relative, what would be the appropriate talk from a Vaishnava to them?
To a relative?
To a relative or whoever we go visit. If it's a friend who has lost a relative, how would,
somebody who's grieved. Yeah, we should be encouraging them. We don't saying they should stop grieving. We should kind of support the grievance, but we can also insert when we can, with tact, uh, a sense of let's get over this, let's get beyond this, and identify. Ultimately, we have to let the body go. We can't hold on to it forever. The Lord is carrying, God is bringing them back to their home, or at least closer. So we offer consolations to such people. And so, yeah, we have to demonstrate empathy for sure. Empathy is necessary. And at the same time, while you have their attention, you can say something from another angle, from the angle of transcendence, which is what Krishna tries to do with Arjuna. Okay, we can play the role of Krishna, not that we are Krishna, but give encouraging words. The soul is gone now, and the body is, going to be demolishing itself. It will be annihilated. So encourage people to, yes, the body's gone now. Let's go to the soul, and encourage people on the spiritual path. Look at the teachings of Lord Shri Krishna.
From my experience, I have found that if we let them know that the person has not really died, it kind of comes across as a comforting thought for them.
That's right. It has to be handled very carefully, prudently. On the one hand, you want to say to them, yes, I understand you're going through a lot of pain, and empathize with them. And when you get a chance, just try to help leave them knowing that there is a superior way of looking at things.
Thank you.
Leave them with some wisdom, approach them for sure with some sympathy, approach them with some caring, gestures. This comes to the frame of words or holding their hands or whatever like that. But leave them with something to think about, to dwell on. All right? Because our job is to offer the highest in the way of self-satisfaction. Okay, we have Vasanta. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. The one thing I've always found is no matter what religion people belong to, what their belief is, if you say the soul lives forever, it's very comforting to a person who is lost, especially if they lose some young person.
Yes,
So,
yes. I think it's good, like at the moment of grievance, when people are very emotional because they've lost someone dear to them, it's hard to speak philosophically with them, but I think it's good to just, deliver some message that will come into their heads in due course. It'll kick in, Like, don't expect an immediate response. They're grieving. You say, we're not these bodies, That person's not there anymore. They might get it, but they might be like, oh, don't talk like that. But anyways, eventually it should, it should be sinking in. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. So know how to be a comforter, know how to, a subduer, and at the same time, give a pundit message of a pundit. All right.
Actually, Maharaj and devotees, Hare Krishna, I'm in actually this situation because my brother lost his son, my nephew, basically. We were very young. It was exactly 1 year, December 27th last year. So this December, we'll be in Varanasi doing some, prayers basically for him, and as well as my parents and Sandamini's parents. And, we never went to the Ganges and did any special prayers. So I've been, comforting him a lot. I feel that way. but and he has been kind of grateful to that. But Maharaj, I told him, because his other son lives in London, I told him to establish touch with His Holiness Keshav Swami Maharaj, who's mainly residing in London. But do you know your travel plans, Maharaj, in Mayapur? So I can ask my brother. He comes to in very often, so I can ask him to meet
There's
you.
a good chance.
Roughly,
that
do you know which
most
month?
likely I may not go to Mayapur this year. I may go to the Govardhan Eco Village,
This year?
perhaps a stop in France. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
Govardhan.
going to Eco Village, just to do with go for a cleanser, go for some healing.
Which
This
month
time
roughly?
I have to do it, and I have an opportunity.
Which month roughly? I don't
February.
need February. You'll likely be in India
February.
for a short while, at least 1 week, at least.
Yeah. Mhm. Yes.
Okay, Maharaj. Okay, thank you.
February.
Around February, at least for a week in Mumbai area. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Sure. Second
Thank you, Maharaj.
second or third week of February.
Okay, I'll
But
see if
most
we can.
likely second week. Yeah.
That is good enough for now. We have 2 months, so closer to the date, I'll
Yeah.
contact you. Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
All right. Good. So any other questions by any of you? Like most of you have gone to honor someone who's passed away, a friend or a relative, and you're exposed to a lot of grievances, and maybe at least sobriety. People are quite grave at these times. But you may have had the good fortune to meet somebody who's very joyful that someone has left, maybe because they were arch enemies. Either that, or you can feel some comfort by knowing that they're not in such acute pain. So people can be happy for that. Anyways, it's good to honor those who have contributed something positive in their lives and our lives. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I heard some people saying something.
Oh, I think it was just some disturbance, Maharaj. We should probably go to the next verse.
Okay. Is Nitai Priya with us still?
No, I think she dropped off. I think.
No, maybe, but it said she did write in the that she's driving.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she went through some grievance recently, just this last week, and lost a great soul in her life. Yeah. So she and her husband have been going through stuff. All right, then let's go to the next one. Let's hear it. Somebody on the Sanskrit, another person in the English, and then we've got enough material to last us for a while. Okay. Two. Volunteers,
Are you here?
right to be, please. Volunteers.
Arjun Sakha, can you start? And then Manasi Ganga. Arjuna, can you read? And then Haripad.
Yes.
Then Vasanta. Go.
Okay, let's begin.
भगवान उवाच कुतस्तव कश्मला इदं विश्वं समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजस्तम् अस्वर्ग्यम् अकृति अकरम् अर्जुन.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful. Very nice. Good. And then the purport? You have a string of devotees to read through that.
I'll go. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of the living entities, and Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Lord Krishna.
Thank you. Next.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus: Vadanti tat tatta vidas tat bam yad jnanam ad dadyam brahmeti pramameti bhagavam iti sabyate. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
Nice. Thank you. Next.
These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun's surface, and sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness and glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature, may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the absolute truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun of Hare Krishna.
Yeah, let's stick to two sentences, please, everyone. Thank you. That was good reading. Yeah.
The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to knowledge of Paramatma feature of the absolute truth. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal features of the supreme absolute truth.
Thank you.
Therefore, the Bhaktas, or the Transcendentalists, who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the Absolute Truth, are the topmost Transcendentalists, although all students who are engaged in the study of the Absolute Truth are engaged in the same subject matter. The sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another, and yet the students of the three different phases are not in the same category.
Thank you. Very good. Next person.
Now, Yamuna Dasi, you want to go?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I came late, right?
So it's
Okay.
on the screen. You can read from the screen.
Yeah. The Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained by the great authority, uh, Parashara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, the Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation is called Bhagavan.
Nice.
The,
Nice.
the, next.
Shakti.
Recycle. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached. But no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayana, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Nice.
No, no one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord or Bhagavan, known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam.
Nice.
There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord, Govinda, and the cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1.
Nice.
Can you read?
In the Bhagavatam also there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna is described as the original personality of Godhead, from whom many, many incarnations and personalities of Godhead expand. Ete chamsha kala pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Yukam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge.
Nice. Thank you. Next.
All the lists of the incarnations of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of plenary expansions of Supreme Godhead. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Hare Krishna.
Bhagavatam 1.3.28. You can read the next line.
Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of the Godhead, the Absolute Truth, the source of both the Supersoul and impersonal Brahman. In the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hare Krishna.
In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsman is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the word kuta, wherefrom. Such impurities were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans.
Nice. All right. Next.
Shakti Devi, are you able to read? Haripad, can you go?
Okay, the word Aryan.
You want me to read?
Yes, Mataji, read.
From the word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know that the aim of life is realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu, or I can't see what it says. Thank you. Or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world, and therefore they do not know what liberation is.
Nice.
Go on, Mata, go on.
Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsmen.
Yeah, final conclusion on that one. Wow. Okay. A few things to note. Prabhupada couldn't resist to talk about the 3 levels of God realization. And he also manages to include it in the introduction of the Gita. It seems to be a tradition amongst the Vaishnavas, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, to bring that to the fore. Again, Vyasadeva is the one that made it very clear in the first canto. He's talking about the personality, the sun god, the sun disk, and the sun, rays. And Bhaktisiddhanta gave an example. You may have heard this before. It's like the train is newly built, and this is like more or less the early 19th century when trains were built. And the villagers were being told the train is coming, and it was in the nighttime. So everybody in the village, after they saw the railroad track being built, but what does the iron horse look like? What does the train look like? Okay. So people came and they were waiting patiently for the train to arrive. And what they saw was a light, a stream of light, casting itself for quite a stretch, And some of them went away to tell those who couldn't be there to see the train coming for like the opening ceremony, you can say. And they told us, I saw the train. I saw the train. Oh, really? What does it look like? Well, it's just like a big light that lights up, and it just kind of like shoots out like some kind of ray. And that is what a train is. Okay. So then the train was coming along, and it made a stop in the village. And people were able to see, oh, there is the long, ray of light coming from the front. And then there's all these compartments. There's these compartments, wagons attached. It was like a combination of cabins all hooked up together. So, oh, I've seen the train. I know what the train is all about. So they went and told their friends. They described the first phase, the light coming up. Second phase, that there's these long, carts that are all hooked up together, all attached together. And that's what the train is. Okay, so the people that stayed on after the train came to a full stop, they invited people in for a grand tour of the place, and to see what it was like inside. They met the conductor. There were people in there. It was like a passenger train, and they saw what they felt the inside. They saw the warmth. It was nighttime again. Lights were on within, and they just got a feel for the whole train, And they got to meet the passengers and the whole, train experience. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gave this example, and we can take that. It is kind of a nice way to look at things. And, trains are a big experience in India. Anybody's gone there. Trains are a big part of the culture, For a second class. Maybe there's a third class, I'm not sure. And they have usually 3 tiers where people can sleep at night. I guess the people that have the tour could see that. In India, they call it tires, but it's tiers, right? 3 tires, they see TYRES. Okay. So anyways, this is what was the experience of the people, and that's the way it is with God too. One level of God realization is the Brahman. Another level of God realization is the Paramatma. You're given more details. You start to see the shape of God, or it can be realized, it can be felt. And then lastly, there's Bhagawan, which is the full-on experience, like the people who saw the train, the first image of it, the second level, and then the third level, where they were able to get inside and meet personalities. So it's like that also with God, or the 3 levels of the aspects of the sun. So we have Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. in the first canto. Brahmati, Paramatmiti, Bhagavan, Iti, Shabjite. 3 levels of God. Now I just ask any of you Prabhus here. Have you had got yourself acquainted with other religious traditions? Perhaps have you heard about such details about God? You know, I was raised Christian. I never got that much information. Never. Anybody else? Have you had any other affiliations with
Yeah, I've heard,
Judaism? Okay.
Maharaj, I've heard from the Christians that they think God as an old person with looks like a Santa Claus beard and wearing a long robe sitting on a throne.
Right. That's their idea of God. Yeah. Well, at least there's a personality there, you know. At least he's old and maybe perhaps wise at the same time. All right, good. Nitai Priya, you have some experience?
The only other religion or spiritual path that I found that it's definitely not a comparable level of detail, but it's probably the next level of detail, step down, would be in Kabbalistic studies, which is like Jewish mysticism. So they talk about, the various dimensions and all these different aspects of God and different names of God. And it's more of a spiritual science, kind of like the Vedas are. And I respect it a lot for that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, yeah, that's the point we want to make, is that in some traditions, perhaps maybe even the older ones, they have this kind of acceptance of the different aspects of the divine. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have some experience visiting other spiritual truths?
Can I say something, Maharaj, quickly?
Yes, Harika.
So, yeah, I actually have a Jewish friend here at the workplace, and she was saying that in the traditional synagogues, the women are not even allowed to sing. So the men may sing the rhymes or these verses in their holy book.
That may be true in terms of practice, but I
Right.
thought in terms of the philosophical belief, do they have an idea of different levels of Godhead?
Right. In terms of that, I asked why they're not allowed to say the name, and they said that since we don't know God's name, we are not allowed to say it. We just replace, whenever they're reading this holy book, when they come across the word Yahweh, I think, they just say the Almighty, the all-powerful, all-loving, something like that. So, like, I was like, I agree that, you can say that God did not come and tell you this is my name and say it like that. But in India, we believe Lord Krishna did that 5,000 years ago. And then I said, even if you don't know, what God actually said, if you say something which is honorable, respectful, loving, kind, and beautiful, I don't think God will be angry at you for saying it. And so I gave her, since she's Jewish, I gave her Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj's book on vanity karma, which is Kohelet, right? King Kohelet, which is from the Old Testament. And she said, she said thank you, but she has not. I've not had a chance to engage. I think it was okay, right, Maharaj? I didn't say anything disrespectful.
Yeah. The point is they believe in a God, but it's the concepts are a little more vague than what you might get in our Vedas, especially the level of the Bhagavatam, where it does get into incredible detail. Yes. Anybody else? I'm sorry, Chaitanya Shard, go ahead.
I think Christians' ideas of God is kind of an impersonalist view. They don't put a face or a name on it.
But would you say that
Like where we look at the deities, they just kind of think God's floating around somewhere.
Yeah. So a lot of folks there, the details are not delivered as we are experiencing. Good, good. Yeah, anybody else?
I
Okay, it is a nice, healthy purport. Anything else we want to extrapolate from there?
I have come across all these terminologies like Paramatma, Bhagavan, Devas, and all those things, but I never knew exactly what what is what. Only after reading Prabhupada's books and
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, there's lots of generalizations, and but it gets to be a little more explicit in our descriptions that we find here in the Bhagavatam, for sure. And so thanks to Vyasadeva and the people in the disciplic succession lineage, they're making it much more clear for us. Yeah. I think it's such a relief to know that God is a person, someone that you can communicate with, as opposed to just existing and being identified as a light, a tiny light bulb or something like that, and that God is the great collective light bulb. We're all little candles, and God's the collective candle. It's a very nice analogy, and is that it keeps some people, gives them some hope. But in terms of knowing about God's characteristics or his personality, that comes very clear in the Bhagavatam. And even for followers of Hinduism, many of them don't. They may know the Leelas, the pastimes. It's not always so easy to be convinced that these personalities that we read about, which some people pass off as mythology and stories of superheroes, they can be taken more seriously when the images or the explanations are done with through the lens of devotion, bhakti. Yeah.
In India, Maharaj, Hindus, they use the word mythology very generously to disregard all these things. And they really, use that a lot, especially the newer, younger generation.
Yes, there's a problem.
and even with
We've got Arjun, right?
yes, Vasanta and Arjun.
Okay, Vasanta first, fine. Arjun's a gentleman, and he'll let his our mother like Vasanta speak first.
Well, I was wondering why this knowledge is contained is in India, but have other people forgotten? Then,
Either forgotten or did not know about it in the first place. First of all, for hundreds, if not thousands of years, reading the Shastras was the monopoly of the Pandits or the Brahmins. The stories came to people somehow or landed on their ears, and they liked what they heard. They loved to hear about the heroism of Ram and Narasimha, so on like that, Vamana. But somehow or other, the wisdom Brahman. I mean, there's a little bit of an overlap, I guess you could say. Some people like the concept of Brahman. It was always there, but then make to go for some verification. More details were given in time. So Vyasadeva did that for us. He presented us the Puranas, the stories of God, in person. Interactions, devotional relationships, the themes carried by the struggle between good and evil, all those things Vedavyasa brought to the picture. So yeah, in time, things deteriorate. Krishna constructed a nice system called Varna and Ashrama. And but that also deteriorated. The purpose, the intent behind that also got lost or damaged, right? So time tends to heal things, time also tends to, let's say, to break down authenticity, you know?
Yeah, the deterioration of how, things are happening, to the extent even my parents were not accepting that I was holding Bhagavatam and reading. They said, no, you cannot be reading. This is only for sannyasis and things like that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, thanks to Prabhupada.
Yes, thanks to
And
Prabhupada.
thanks to the wisdom of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta, they said this has to go out, you know. People in Kali Yuga need this, you know, like anything. And so why should it just be the monopoly of a few? You know?
But in India, we always used to have Harikatha and Ramayana Upanyas, I remember as a child going for these. Then it kind of disappeared because they would sing and tell stories and sing and tell stories, usually Ramayana and sometimes Harikatha.
Yes.
So we did, but it kind of disappeared after, I would say, 60s, after that.
Yes, I think we all can witness a deterioration of morality in general and shifting from, you know, beautiful, genuine stories of divinity to more like Bollywood themes, you know, and, you know, which are usually just some kind of a more mundane Xerox copy off of the beautiful stories from the Vedas. Yeah. Yeah, you probably hit it right on. The
But
60s were
even
a
Krishna
time.
himself says that how this knowledge, Vyavaswan and Ikshvaku and all knew, but now it has disappeared.
Yeah,
So,
a feature of Kali Yuga, right? Yeah.
yeah, so it keeps
Things go
disappearing.
underground. Good things go underground.
Yeah, and then Janame, I mean, Parikshit has to be told also again all the stories.
Mhm.
So I think knowledge somehow disappears.
So there's a need for people to surface who have the wisdom and to share it with the next generation. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if, you know, all these stories in the Mahabharata, you know, if Disney could get a hold of them and make something of it, you know, like people might start to think, oh, this is good stuff, this is real. And kids are very much, you know, like say sponges.
Yeah.
They said, I like these stories, these are my, let kids, you know, instead of Santa Claus and Easter bunnies, you know, it'd be nice to hear about Ram and everything.
Well, how people took to Harry Potter because, it's complex. Children like these stories so much.
It's up
When
to us, it's up to us to distribute the wisdom, right? In the Gita, Krishna, it said, you know, let us get this message out. Let's get the stories out. You know, let's not hog the nectar.
when my son was in second grade, I had gone to give, they came and said, teachers called me in and said, tell us something about your religion. And I had taken, Ganesh statue, Krishna and Hanuman and all. And I told them some stories, short second grade, and they all wanted to become Hindu because they said the stories are so cool. They wanted to.
Yeah, that's nice to know. Yeah. I have one girl, she lives up in Thunder Bay from college, and she was actually a yoga teacher and so on like that. And she'd heard about the stories of Shiva and other heroes. And just asking me, you know, she wasn't quite sure what to believe, you know, when it comes to the stories. But I said, there's lessons that come from each of these stories. And in the end, we see them as our heroes. We look up to them and establishes an awe and reverence from our heart, you know, because, you know, it brings a humility into the picture. And that's what we need. We need humility. Yeah. Arjun's got something he wants to say. Arjun.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna. So basically, like, sometimes you go and you tell people that Krishna's God, and they go like, "That's God? That's pretty depressing." And I'm like, "Wait, but you don't even know him. How can you tell?" And they're like, I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, if you don't know, who's God then?" They're like, I don't know." So it's like, this is the funniest thing. They say
Yeah.
Krishna's not God, but they don't really like.
We're trying to be very
Oh, no.
specific, right? Or you were
Yeah,
trying to define it, be specific, and then people want to know. So here it is, something very definitive,
yeah,
and they are reluctant to. No, that can't be. But I think one thing that's really going to help to convince people is that your character, your behavior, if you show divine qualities, people find something special in you, and whatever you have to say, they take it very seriously. They look at, oh, these are the stories. This is what makes you what you are. You know, well then maybe there's something to it all. Maybe you're on to something. That's like an English expression. Maybe you've really got something there that I wouldn't take seriously. So if they see our good behavior and our self-satisfaction, our contentedness, then we tell them a few stories, they might take it more seriously. That people ask, what makes you buzz? You're a very, let's say, composed, collected, and calm person. What is it that does it for you? How do you do it? How do you get to that level? Said, well, here it is. I read these stories. I believe in them. I embrace them.
yeah.
That's
So sometimes you talk to some Indians and they haven't read one page of the Bhagavad Gita, but they think they know more than you because they're Indians. And I'm like, you had to get to read these things. But the thing is, like, it's better to follow the person. Like Prabhupada, we have our spiritual master, and the person Bhagavat, so we have to follow.
yes.
The
Yeah,
first check.
definitely Guru plays an important role in all of this, right? Or the grandparents, or who are where you're getting the stories from, if you were lucky enough when you're a kid. But let the stories be delivered through the channel of the empowerment of the disciplic succession. Let's get the stories right. Okay. I would say this, sometimes the last script I wrote about Ram, which is a half hour long, I don't establish in it that Ram is God. I just establish him as a hero, because that's the level where people are at, and eventually they'll get to know more about him. But let's get people started. Otherwise, they, like you said, Arjun, so that's God. Oh, come on. I can't believe that. Yeah. Okay, so let us go for takeaways. Arjun Saka, you want to say something quickly?
Yes, Maharaj, Hare Krishna. Maharaj, I just want to share my experience. I was reading Bhagavad Gita in my college, and just apparently a girl came to me. Her name is Christy. She was one of my classmates, and just she asked, "What are you reading about?" As she's a really big fan of reading novels and all. So I introduced her Bhagavad Gita as a fiction, action, science, philosophy, and a lot of that characters. So apparently she started reading now. So is that good if we introduce to the new generation like that as a fiction or a science characters?
I think it's good to know who the person is you're talking to. And if it's a sort of a scientific minded young person, maybe you have to give them a little bit of a warm up and explain this is a look. This, you might not take this as a historical event, but go deeper with it and appreciate what Krishna is trying to say. Krishna is offering hope, wisdom, a sense of becoming victorious, successful, and just the Gita in itself on its own isn't a big epical tale, but it speaks big. These are strong, large words, and you can prepare them for it. I think what really helps, just get them to look at the back page, the back jacket, quotes from Gandhi and Emerson and Thoreau, that gets some enlightened people a bit interested, In other words, you could say that these people, they really believed in this. This affected their lives in a very prominent way. So if it can affect them, it can affect you too, And then always invite them to look at, if you got any questions about anything, let's hook up again and let's talk about it a little bit. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Maharaj. And Maharaj, can I give you a call after this session to talk about event which I'm planning in my college when you're visiting it?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Should we do a takeaway? We're a little bit late.
Yes, Maharaj.
We should or should not?
Yes, quick takeaways, short and
Okay.
quick.
Are you speaking on behalf of the whole group?
I'm suggesting.
Is everyone okay with the great suggestion? Okay, so then let's do it, okay? Got 4 words. 4 words. Okay.
Haripad, please go first.
Guru plays important role.
Oh, okay.
All right. After you speak, please mute yourself. Chaitanya Charan.
God has an identity.
I'm sorry, what?
Here's a little
An
topic.
identity.
God has an identity. Is that what?
God has. Yep. God has an identity.
Okay, that's good. I like it. I could drink to that.
Krishna is personal.
Krishna is personal. Next.
Grateful for my,
Say it, please.
grateful for my guru.
Grateful for my guru.
Manasi Ganga.
No one equal to Krishna.
Next.
Arjuna.
Practice bhakti with faith.
Bhakti with faith. Yes.
Anantasesha.
Knowledge burns nations.
Knowledge, what? Say that again.
Knowledge burns nations.
Oh, yes, very good.
Guru Das, did you say that already? Guru Das, did you already say?
Yeah, he said, Mataji.
Sorry, okay. Navayavana Dasi.
Courage arises from spiritualism.
Courage, sorry. Say it again.
Courage arises from spiritualism.
Okay, thank you.
Vasanta.
We are lucky to have this knowledge with us.
Okay, we are lucky to have this.
I really want to take
9 words. Okay, we're stretching it now. Okay. Good.
Priya, can you speak?
Dimensions of the train.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, very nice. You didn't say dementia, did you?
No.
Okay. I think people who are about dementia are the ones that don't probe into spiritual matters. Okay, next.
Follow the disciplic succession.
Okay, nice.
So if everybody is done, then from me it's thank you, Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you. And again, congratulations to Anantashesh and to Vaishnavi. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
If everyone knows that it's not a wedding anniversary for 30 years or whatever. It's that their oldest son, Arvind, got engaged in New York City.
Yes.
Jai Ho.
Yeah.
Jai Ho.
Sahipad and
Sandamani.
Sandamani, they came.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Oh, no, really? Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, we missed you, Maharaj. We missed you. We like to have you come next.
And
Yeah,
Hari,
I was in the mist, you know, I was in the
and Haripad was very helpful in holding me around when I was walking. So thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do, help each other. Yeah,
Yes.
so, all right, Bruce, thank you so much.
Thank you, Maharaj. My
Yeah.
obeisances at your lotus
Maharaj,
feet.
Thank you, Maharaj.
are
Very
we
welcome.
staying? Are we staying to talk to you about your trip?
Not staying, but we can call separately.
Okay.
Either a little later on, I'll acknowledge what Arjun Saka asked. And I think maybe tomorrow when the sun is up, when it's a little brighter,
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. Thank you.
if that's okay. Yeah, we're on the same time, so.
Yes.
Thank you, Shakti, for looking after it, Michael. That's great of you. All right, so let's say goodbye. Haribol.
Haribol.
Panchakalpatarubhyas chakri pasantu bhyavata. Patitanam bhavani bhyo vaishnavi bhyo namo namah.